looking at HTML forms and input types too. So basically what we'll be looking at in this tutorial is what? Input types. So let me comment it. Input types. Sorry, input types, not those. Sorry. So let me write an H for also. Input types. Again, let me change it. Types. So we have a lot of input types in HTML. So in our last class, we look at only text. So we'll be looking at a lot of them. Then by next class, so we'll just design a basic HTML form. So let's look at few of the input types that we have in HTML. So we'll look at text. Let's look at it again. Input. Then you close it. Sorry. You close it. Then you write the attribute. Type. Set it to. You set the type to text. Then you contrast to save and see how the browser renders it. So we can see this. So in input type text, you can put number, you can put anything, you can put numbers, you can put name, you can put anything, any keyword. So that's input type for text. Let me just put a label to show that we're writing text. Label. Text. Text. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Sorry. Let's go to the next one. Let's call this label. Let's call it for. The next one we'll be looking at is password. Input type for password. So let's write it. Input. So input. Then you close it. Then you write the type, set the type to password. So it's only the type are changing. That's why we call it input types. So you set the type to password. So you control save. See how the browser went out. You can see that inside this text we can type anything, but there's no any change. The things we are typing is automatically reflecting. So let's refresh. Let's see how the browser. So you can see password. In terms of password, how does the browser renders password? Let's see. The things we are typing inside the password is what being what encoded. So we cannot see it. So all the things I'm typing inside the password. I type QWERTY is what is not showing as because we've said input types to what password. So different input types, but different input types have what different way they work on the browser. So let me create a line break here. Sorry, I created a line break here so that this password and this input type will come down. So let me contrast to see. So refresh. So we can see that this one has come down. So let's look at the next one. Let me create a line break first. Sorry. A line break. Then the next input type we'll be looking at, let's create a label for it, is the what? The checkbox. So it is the what? Checkbox. Okay. Let me call it check box. So these are the input types checkbox does work. Okay. Input, set the type to type, set it to what? Check box. So you close it. So you control S to save. Let's see how the browser renders it. You can see the input type checkbox. Once you click on this, there'll be a mark. So that's how input type checkbox work. So once you click on it, there'll be a what? A mark. You can change it. Checkbox, you can be able to select or unselect or deselect. So the next one we'll be looking at is the radio button. Let's make a line break first. Let's label, call it radio, just radio. Then create the input, set the type to set it to radio. Then you close the input. Then you control save, see how the browser renders it. But the radio button is just another version of checkbox. So you see, you can see the radio button. Once you select once, you cannot deselect. That's one thing about the radio button. But the checkbox, when you select, sorry, once you select on the checkbox, you can be able to what? Uncheck. But once you check in the radio button, you cannot deselect again. So once you select, you cannot deselect. That's one thing about the radio button. So both are useful. They are useful what? Input types. So I don't think we can look at all the input types. So we're looking at maybe should we look at 2 or 3 more? Let's look at the input type. Email, we'll look at range and color. Input type, email, range and color. Okay. Let's make a line break. Label, email. So set it to set the label this input, sorry, input, set the type to what? Set the type to email. Then you close it. So control save. Sorry. Control save. Inside the browser renders it. The input, the email is just like what? A text box. But just that, see. So you can input anything, but if once you are submitting the form, if you not put what? The @ sign, the at gmail.com, at yahoo.com, if you not input it there, so the it will not be submitted if you not put this at maybe gmail.com. The browser will not submit the form for you. So that's what the email does. And if I'm running this thing on the browser, sorry, on a mobile phone, you see that on top of your mobile keyboard, you see at gmail.com, at yahoo.com, at maybe hotmail.com. So that's one thing about the email. So let's look at 2 more. I said color and what? Range, right? Yes, color and range. And also button. Very, very important. The button is the one that submits your document. So sorry, let me create a line break first. Then input. Sorry, label first. Don't know why I'm so. Let me call this color. Then let me set the input type. Set the type attribute to what? Color. Then you close the. Now control S to save. Now refresh on the browser. Let's add the browser window. Now you can see that we have, once you click on this, we have a color this thing that we can edit. You can see this is the RGB of the color. That is the red, green, blue. That's how we mix color. So we can go from one to another. So this is giving us the value. So we can go from different colors to what? Another. So you can see move from one color to another. So that's what the color input does. So look at range. Okay, break the line. So label, call it what? Range. So input, set the type to what? Range. Then you close the what? The input type. So Ctrl S to save. Then come to your browser to what? Refresh. Now we can see this range. We can drag it from here to this to this. We can change the range from one to another. But with the help of some other attributes, we can make it fixated. So that one will be probably for our CSS class or JavaScript class. So that one is not now yet. But we can automate it and make it fixed in a position. So the last input type we'll be looking at is button. Let me just button. Let me just comment it and tell you that it's button, because button, there are two ways of writing a button. Button. So let me just create enough space on that so that I can easier so that I can see what's happening. So let me create an H. Let me create an a wait. Okay, let me create a label. A label. Let me call it button. Okay. Let me put a line break here also. Okay, I put a line break. So the first way of writing label, you can use what? The input and its type. Input. Then set the type to what? Sorry. It set the type to what? To button. button. Then you close the. So Ctrl S to save. See how the browser renders it. Sorry, we didn't spell the button right to double T. Ctrl S to save. The button is not a text box though. So you can see. Let's see how the browser renders it. You can see how the browser rendered the button. So the button must have a value. Yes, the button must have a what? A value. Let's set the value of the button. Sorry. The value of the button to button. Sorry. Button. So you Ctrl C. You can put any value, but we just set the value to what? Button. You can see the button, you can click on it. But with CSS, we can beautify button. All these things can be beautified with what? CSS. CSS manipulate all HTML content, all HTML tags, elements. CSS manipulate them. So with the help of HTML, you can manipulate this what? Button. So also there is another button. So let me create a line break. So with if you don't want to use input type, you can use a button tag. Button. Sorry. Button. Then you close it. Then you put your what? The value. Instead of putting the value, just set the value to the what as an HTML content. Just say submit. So let me put a label at the top so that we know it's submit button. Label. You will see that we will get the same feeling as the same thing as the first one. So you Ctrl S save, see how the browser renders it. You can see. So okay, I use submit instead of okay, you can use submit right, but you can see that they are both what? The same. They are both what? The same. So we can use input and use the type to set the button, or you can use what? The button tag. Anyone that is you feel you want to use, it is what? Okay to use. So we've talked about a lot of input types today. We talked about text, password, checkbox, radio, email, color, range, and buttons. So we have some other ones like what? Like file, month, and the rest of them, number, dates, and the rest of them. So, but we are really looking at this field. So maybe when we go through the course, we are going to touch some other parts during the course of this course. So all you have to do now is to create some input type, add the label, then you submit to the submission group. So see you in next class. Bye bye. Thank you.